So if that sounds good to you, let's jump on in. To the bottom right-hand side, our right Terran player is MMA. And he is going up against the blue Zerg to the top left, Leenock. Excited to see how this goes. This was one of the matches from the first rounds of the tournament. Let's see what these guys come up with here. Again, if you're enjoying the stream today, guys, it's going to take a minute or two to sell out. Just want to get the game started, though. If you're enjoying the stream today, don't forget to first of all hit that follow button to see when we go live, of course, in the future of more StarCraft 2 content. Of course, if you're really enjoying the stream, you can, of course, support further. You can subscribe to the channel. Again, this is one of the last times I'm going to remind you all, if you want to get your hands on the replay pack, a new replay pack with all of these replays we're casting today will go out today, as well as all of the replays from you know, the last week or two of StarCraft content that we cast on the channel. So if you've seen a match on the channel in the last 2 weeks, those replays will be in the replay pack. So do come and, or do get yourselves ready to check that out. It should be pretty awesome. It should be a lot of fun. It should be really cool. It goes out to subscribers. So yeah, do check that out if you're interested. Obviously, subscribing is a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to show some love. It's a great way to allow me to keep on doing what I'm doing, which is bringing you guys regular StarCraft content. So yeah, do check that out. We're currently only 15 subscribers away from 400, which is truly just amazing once again that we got so close to 400 in this recent push. I do think it's going to go down in the next couple of days before I stream again, because this time a month ago we had some really good streams with a lot of Twitch Prime subs, and so it's about that sort of time where they're going to start dropping off, which is again not a bad thing. It's just a reality thing, which is always a good thing to keep in check, reality, you know. So yeah, it's been really cool to get so close to 400 again, though. But yeah, obviously you've got Twitch Prime, you can sub for free, and that's about it. I think I've spent too long talking about that. It took me a little while to get all my words out there. As you do see, this Reaper is coming across the map here. MMA is coming in towards the upper left side. And just have a little bit of a peek to see what is going on in these early stages. We already see the factory coming down at home. The reactor is going to be finishing up on the barracks in the next few moments, so it's going to be setting up in towards this, and you see MMA already on double gas, means we will be seeing, well, generally you'd see a starport, and there it is coming down now. Just took a moment or two to start it. Factory will land onto the reactor, barracks will move off to the side, and there we go, set on up here. And pretty much just ready to get going. Excuse me. Reaper from MMA up to the top as well, as we're going to be seeing the third hatchery and the natural hatchery. Obviously, are both just on their way up, or completed and saturated, and they're doing their job so far. We're not just going up to the nice, quick, free bases we would generally expect this to see. To be. Because we actually do see a couple of cyclones on the way out. So, a couple of cyclones. In that case, what do you build off the starport? Because you actually don't have the gas to afford much else. Leenock will see that nothing is built as well, which is actually a pretty good sign that these are going to be cyclones that are building, right? Because why would you not build anything off the starport unless you don't have the gas? In which case, you know, probably cyclones to the Hellions, and the longer he sits here, I mean, he's going to see the cyclones anyways. But just still good info, you know, seeing that there's two cyclones so early in the game. Well, we'll see what happens from there, as we do see the Reaper and a couple of Hellions. Just going to be sat just next to the Queens then. The Queens do come forward to start poking them away. Push them back down towards the bottom right-hand side. Cyclones get rid of the Overlord there, and as the Overlord goes down, we will see the starport. It's going to finish up this medevac to drop the Cyclones across the map and then move on towards the tech lab. Thank you very much, Ralphbo, who actually comes in, Ralphbo3, coming in with the fresh new sub. How you doing? Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much for joining the Wardy family. Again, replay pack later today if you're interested on the Discord. And enjoy the emotes, enjoy being part of the fam. Good to have you. A couple of Hellions of Reaper heading up towards the upper right-hand side of the map. And as those couple of units head up towards the upper right, we are going to see the Cyclones coming in towards the main base. They're already starting to target down that Queen, doing just a little bit of damage there. A couple of drones as well starting to go down. So a little bit of damage being done as we see these Hellions going to try and dive the natural. Meanwhile, we see a lot of Zerglings coming forwards and towards the natural too. So a bit of a run by. There's going to be damage on either side. Those Hellions are going to get quite a few drones as well. I mean, it's going to definitely bring the work kill count up. Gets to 6. It's actually not too crazy. He's going to kill the spawning pool. Spawning pool will go down as you see Lings into the main base. I mean, these Lings are actually doing a lot of damage on the counter-attack. The Hellions, I mean, the depots just weren't raised. The wall off of the front wasn't there. The Banshees aren't amazing at cleaning up Lings, so it just takes them so long. And so this is actually a lot of SCVs that have gone down here as we see these Cyclones continue to fire away. And the Queen taking a little bit more damage. Medevac does hide up in the corner. And well, MMA is finally going to kind of stabilize here and clean this up a little bit. As Banshee will now start to go across the map. We do see a third CC setting up as well. And we just do have the couple more Hellions continuing to come on through. So Banshee coming all the way in towards the upper right at the moment. Let's see what this can get up to in the next couple of moments. But there's an Overseer here and a Queen. Going to be able to defend this Banshee pretty easily so far as MMA. We'll lose a Banshee there, a little bit of a miscontrol, so that's actually really poor. That was a really poor effort by MMA, honestly. It's a little bit of a mistake. Trying to just explain what was said there by the players, which was, I think MMA was just asking that Leenock turned off the skins for the next game, just because the Roach skin is a bit controversial, because he thought it was, you know, had the Tunnel Claws upgrade. It is kind of a little bit confused. Is there a Roach on the map we can look at quickly? Because on the usual Roach skin, they have these blue spikes. They don't have blue spikes. But when they get the Tunneling Claws, they do have blue spikes. So that's kind of, you know, kind of a bit weird because this Roach already has blue spikes, even though Tunneling Claws isn't upgraded. We've seen the Queen going to get another Banshee kill, but it did pick up 8 more drones, so in fairness, another good chunk of damage dealt by MMA. And look at the kind of the workers killed throughout this, 14 to 13. It's been quite the trade-off. Workers' resources lost is actually only a 25 mineral difference or so. We are going to be seeing Hellions and Ravens moving out in towards the center of the map. Third base to start to build up in towards an orbital commander. Fourth base from Leenock coming down on the left-hand side. MMA with double armory, obviously, and obviously triple factory as well, showing us that he is going to be going for some mech play here. So, setting up in towards this mech, a couple of Hellions, a couple of tanks coming through. And we are going to be seeing the one vehicle weapons continue to come into play as well. As Leenock just masses up a few more Roaches, the infestation pit currently on the way down in the back of this natural mineral line as well. So, infestation pit coming through as a few Hellions going to come around the left-hand side. They are going to be dropping in towards the main base. And MMA again just looking for a little bit of damage wherever he can. Leenock sees this though, so should be able to respond. There's a few Roaches at the same time. Just going to be able to pick their way through a few of those mules. So a few mules going down here as we see those drones being picked away at. Only 9 workers killed. Nicely done so far. Medevac loads up those Hellions, backs away off over the right hand side, then comes back towards the upper left. And he's just going to sit behind them in a line for now, maybe waiting for a chance to once again get just a little bit more done in this game. A few more Roaches just coming around the right side. We actually see Swarm Hosts currently on the way up here from Leenock. So 11, 12 Swarm Hosts on the way in production. A few more Hellions dropping down. He's going to roast himself a couple of drones here. Oh my god, those drones are stacked for a moment, but the Hellions didn't make it far enough forwards. A couple of drones picked off here. But that's all. So again, the Medevac not finding too much more damage. Well, how well prepared is MMA for these Swarm Hosts right now? I mean, if I look at this, there isn't any Blue Flame. The Hellbat count is very low. There's actually a few Hellions, which are mostly in this Medevac, though, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to deal with this very well. Oh my god, what the flip is that skin? I've actually never seen the Swarm Host skin, and it looks absolutely obnoxious as shit. What the hell? Wow, that is really something. They barely even look like Swarm Hosts. Well, here we go. The first wave of Locust going to get set up. MMA back into the main base with the Hellions. We see a few Roaches going to start getting damage done. The Locust is going to drop over on this other side here, and they are going to just jump on towards a couple of tanks. Hellbats are still okay at dealing with Locust. It's just they're not as amazing without Blue Flame as they are with, of course. This was a really good first set of Locusts. They got rid of multiple tanks. They got rid of a couple of Hellbats. The fact he just killed multiple tanks is amazing at this stage of the game. You know, sub 10 minutes when the tank count was only 5 or 6, and he kills half of those tanks. It's amazing. We do see Liberators here going to be able to siege up and get some damage done, force some drones to move away. So there is some damage that will be dealt here by MMA in the return. But he needs to make sure he can get enough army up to deal with the next wave of Locusts, which is coming online right now. There's also some Vipers coming up as well. So it feels like Leenock's starting to get a real answer to this mech army of MMA. It feels like MMA is not really being able to kind of get going in this. And here we go, dropping down the Locusts again. He will fight the Hellbats initially. Again, lack of Blue Flame is so noticeable. As we're going to be seeing those Locusts going to stick around long enough to keep on fighting some siege tanks. He's going to get 1 or 2 of them. Again, it's another good trade. 13 workers going down. The Liberator is definitely putting some work to get some damage done. 20 a long way. As we actually see Roaches, though, have made their way through to the tanks, and they're going to get a couple of kills as well. Now more SCVs will go down here, because there isn't really anything to help defend. I guess a couple of Vikings can come on through the auto turrets as well. But from losing 15 workers to the Liberators, suddenly MMA has just lost 13 workers himself, so for the workers he just killed, the workers just go down of his own, and so the worker counts stay very easy between the two of them. Well, here we go. I mean, again, just another round of Stormhosts dropping on down here. We're going to be seeing a few supply depots are dropping. A couple of SCVs are going down. A refinery taking some damage. Tank going to pull away as well. We are going to be having this other refinery also going to be attacked. I mean, MMA is just in straight up trouble. Down 80 supply. Swarm hosts on the map. They trade efficiently anyways, and again, MMA just does not have an answer to the to this for the moment. He has absolutely no answer. I mean, again, the run buys are nice. He's doing good damage with these. He's killing some drones. It's just every time he kills drones, there's more units going down for MMA. There's more SCVs going down from MMA on his own side of the map. He's just going to type out right there. Leenock, the first game. To the top right-hand side, our red Terran player is Team Experts MMA. And he's going up against the blue Zerg to the bottom left-hand side. It is Leenock. Leenock and MMA. Well, doesn't get much more old school than Leenock versus MMA, does it? I mean, these are two players who go way back. Never forget the time that Leenock played Jachi in the GSL finals. What a series that was. Never forget the game on Taldra Malta was just an absolute epic epic game. Absolute epic game. MMA obviously had his own share of success and amazing tournaments way back when as well. I think though a couple of the events that I remember MMA for in particular was GSL. Was it the GSL Super Tournament or something? I can't remember what the tournament was called, but when he did the 7 games against Dongregu in the finals, that was one of the best stages of StarCraft ever. I also remember MMA versus Gumiho in the GSTL finals, game number 1 on Antigua Shipyard. That was one hell of an MMA game. Not one that he won, but one that he put up like one hell of a fight, and that was one of the best games of all time, I think, as well. It's definitely one of the best of all time. That was really quite something way back when. Reaper going to pop out here for MMA in a moment or two, and is going to start heading across the map. So MMA going to head on down towards the bottom left-hand side here. As we do see a couple of queens on the way up, link speed starting up as well. Command center coming through from MMA, the factory starts to build. And well, Reaper just again coming in towards the natural. I'm going to be seeing what we can get up to. A couple of links going to come forwards, and again Reaper a little bit back and forth, just going to start dealing some damage. Grenade goes off, and see the links taking some shots right there. CC coming through from MMA, and as he sets up in towards this, I mean, we'll see what he maybe tries to change up this time. He's on double gas again, so not looking for that very fast free CC. And there's that second command center finishing up now, morphing into an orbital. Factory's going to drop down on towards the reactor here. Starport will finish up very soon, as we see the factory will be able to start up a couple of Hellions. Barracks build a tech lab. This game, everything seemingly on time for the MMA. And it's a pneumatized carapace from Leenock, so if the pneumatized carapace, it opens up a couple of options. It mostly is just about scouting now, though. Way back before Drop Tech was on Lair, that was actually, a pneumatized cap was opening. Suddenly you had to think about some of the aggressive options that a Zerg player might have in the game. Obviously, that's not really something we have to consider anymore, which is a bit of a shame. I really think it's one of the big shames about moving the Drop Tech to Lair. It really limits a lot of the build orders, and it really limits some of the, some of the builds that can be used in terms of, it just kind of took away a little bit of the variety from ZVT at least. Obviously, on ZVP, then it maybe opened the matchup up a little bit because it took away the potential of the Ling drops. So, interesting choice. We're going to be seeing the Overlord is going to get pushed away by that Marine. So, Overlord pushed all the way down the right-hand side, and just going to be seeing a couple of Hellions and the Reaper on over to the left-hand side as well. The Viking's going to finish up, and that will allow this the killing of this Overlord. So Overlord will now go down. Let's pick off there. Stimpack on the way up, and a bit of a Marine on the way out as well. The barracks going to drop down in a moment or two, and we're going to see a third command center also from MMA now just starting up. So just setting himself up in towards this wall off here as we see the lair coming in from Leenock. He's going to have the Roach Roaring just finishing. Setting up in towards his Roach-based style in the near future. Zerglin's running forward is actually going to get roasted by Hellions in a moment, so they will have to turn around here. Pulling back down towards the bottom left. And ooh, the lair he actually throws down a Nidus network, so actually going to be seeing Leenock getting aggressive. Well, MMA chooses to play Bio, and by playing Bio, I think naturally you're going to end up being kind of in a bit of a tougher position against a Nidus. Let's see if you can see this. It is part of the wall, so it's very possible to scout this if those Hellions commit forwards. But how often do you commit all the way towards the natural ramp? Well, I guess sometimes you do if you try to run by. At this time, though, 5 minutes and 11 seconds in game, feels kind of late. Viking here going to go down the Queen if it isn't careful. Does turn around. There is the Nidus coming into the main base here. So MMA, no idea about this at all. His Liberator is on the wrong side of the map. His Hellions are out on the map. He has nothing in his base at home. Oh my god, he's going to see this with this SCV coming forward to build a depot. Cancel, cancel, cancel. You do not want to build that depot, I promise you. A siege tank's on the way at least, so that is something. This first barracks is going to tank the damage for now, which actually might even let Stim finish. That'd be a pretty huge deal if he could get Stim up for these Marines. Feels like Leenock is maybe not targeting the more important structures here. As we're going to see, Ling is actually running in towards the natural expansion, so they're going to start dealing some damage here, but the Marines and Hellions are able to clean up. There is that barracks getting taken down here on this reactor. Stim's going to finish in time. This tank's going to come out as well. I'm actually a little bit worried about this for Leenock. Again, the depots will be able to block that as well. Siege is up. Doesn't want to pull the SCVs in just yet because actually he's out of range of the tank if he's too far to the left. So wants to at least maybe reposition the tank or so. We're just going to be seeing the tank setting up and getting ready to siege. You're going to see the Roaches and Queens going back a little bit. There's that tank siege, and here we go. Marines will Stim. SCV's pulling into this as well, and we're just going to be seeing those Roaches getting pushed away. Honestly, we have Stim, Medivacs. I just don't think there's a way that Leenock makes this work out. His army's going to disappear. Yes, he's killed a lot of SCVs, and actually, in fairness, 10 SCVs remaining. Okay, well, 10 SCVs remaining is a little bit concerning, but it's triple command center, so SCVs will rebuild very quickly, and immediately here there is counterattack potential from MMA. He's going to load up 2 Medivacs already and head across the map. He lost a lot more workers than I thought he did. A lot more workers. Viking trying to hit on towards that Overseer a couple of times here, and is going to continue to push it down to the south side. Overseers with Pneumatized Carapace are just so speedy, man. Sometimes I wonder, it's like, wow, how are they so fast? 2 Medivacs heading to the main. The Roaches are up or down on the natural expansion, so they're a little bit out of position. They're really out of position. They're moving across the map. Well, that's a disaster, especially because these Marines are going to unload and not even be scouted while unloading. So stimming in here, I mean, this could be, I mean, if this is all these workers going down, 18, that immediately puts MMA into a reasonable position in terms of work count. It's a very playable position. I'm going to see those drones starting to drop. The Queen will go down as well. Woo! GG. Well, okay, I mean, there's another couple of things to keep in mind here as Leenock calls that GG. To the bottom right-hand side, we start with our red Terran player. This is MMA. Going up against the blue Zerg to the top left-hand side, Leenock. An SCV coming up through the center here in the early stages, getting ready to go. And it looks as though we're going to see a little bit of aggression in this game from our Terran player. Let's get this set up, getting this going, and yeah, just getting this rolling nice and quickly. A couple of barracks coming down here from MMA to get things started, and again it's going to be the 2 racks to see what he can do. And so far, Leenock's Overlords, well, the first one doesn't go in a great direction. The second one, it's going to see it, but it's a very late scout because it's A, the second Overlord, and B, it goes all the way right and then down rather than like down straight towards it, right? So it's a very late scout, and by the time the Overlord sees it, I mean, I think the SCV is already going to be bunkering up at the natural. Refinery will come down on the other side of the map, so MMA will start to build up into a position where he's going to be able to start, you know, getting in towards a follow-up here as well. With the 2 racks, you're always looking to just pressure and follow up from there with the factory or something along those lines. And, well, yeah, great for Leenock that he gets to scout the barracks right now. He gets to see it a little bit ahead of time, but again, the bunker's already on the way up, so there's not much you can immediately do about it. I don't think so, at least. I guess let's see here in just a moment or so. As we're going to be seeing those few drones coming forward from Leenock, and MMA just going to be running away for the moment. By the way, I do know that there's a couple of sub shoutouts I didn't do, guys. Just want to give you a heads up that I will do you guys a shout out in a moment or two. I just obviously got this game started and I didn't think it was going to be a 2-rack, so apologies. We are going to be seeing these drones get a full surround here, but now these Marines can get some damage done. There's a lot of drones off the line for a very long time. Continue to pull back with these Marines. I mean, now a couple of drones are going to die, but he might lose the Marines. But look how many drones are going to die, right? I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can count all the way to 8, guys, just wanted to prove that to you. And this is interesting as well, because you can still maybe get another Marine in that bunker. Is he going to die for it with a couple of lings there? He's going to try, but it's not going to be enough. It is going to go down. It's a nice attempt, though, and with 9 workers killed and so much lost mining time anyways, MMA is already in a great position. 11 drones to 22 SCVs. Lings coming across the map, and they're going to look to see what, of course, they can try and do next. Alright, a couple of sub-shots while these Lings come across the map and hit a brick wall in the form of the Wall-Off. O-Knight coming in with the Twitch Prime sub back-to-back with TJ Kerman. Thank you very much, O-Knight and TJ Kerman, for the Twitch Primes. Coming in just at the very start of that break that we just had. So thank you very much for that. Do appreciate the support. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget, there's a new replay pack going out today, so get yourself on the Discord server if you want to get your hands on that. It will go out on a sub-email as well, but not everyone gets the sub-emails because it's some weird setting that not everyone has accepted or turned on, etc. But thank you very much for the Prime subs. Give us some love in the chat for some guys showing some love to the stream. We're only 12 subs away from 400. That's crazy. Raven Madness as well for the 29 bits. Thank you very much for the few bits, bro. Appreciate it. Well, link speed's coming up here from Leenock, and we do see the Baneling Nest is coming down as well. So, I mean, where do you go from this point? He is making a few more drones, but is it maybe not just a better idea to just try and say, okay, well, I'm dead. Let's maybe just go and, like, Baneling Bust straight up and try and do something? I mean, right now there isn't any units over here, and if you can Bane Bust and get us around the first couple of Hellions, maybe it could work. Maybe that is his plan, actually, in fairness. Medevac on the way out. Marine's actually still building over here, by the way, so there is units from MMA. They're just on the wrong side of the map for defensive purposes, although we do see 2 more Hellions on the way out. Medevac coming through, and it looks as though it's going to go and join up with the Marines, which is pretty cool. We've seen the Viking on the way as well. We'll be able to hunt down this Overlord. Obviously no Nubitized Carapace this time around, so no real way to save that at the moment. As we do have the Queen is on its way out in the main base. The Queen coming up in the main. And we have got the mid ratings just loading up into that Medevac now. Going to be coming up towards the top side and getting ready to drop around in towards this natural, so looking for more damage, and the Lings are on the wrong side of the map. The Hellions are in good numbers and behind a wall off, so they're very safe as well. And it looks as though this is going to be a bit of an issue, as we're going to be seeing the Marines just unload, and just going to be seeing them continue to well, just going to be kind of fighting these extra drones. I mean, he's just going to get another 3 drones. It's going to be more lost mining time and MMA doing even more damaging. Now at the moment, it's going to be seeing the Marines just going back into the left-hand side, and he is going to be going for the Queen. Doesn't quite get it yet, but that Queen is still low. Marines will just be lifted up and boosted away because the Medevac was getting low as well, so it's getting a little bit dangerous there in case he did want to keep those units alive. Viking coming back out towards the center, a few Hellions still just gathered up. Factory with a reactor down on it, and we do see a couple of barracks here as well. Going to be seeing the Medevac is once again turned away by those Zerglings, so it's a nice little turnaround. I mean, this game is all about MMA right now, guys. He is in such a lead from the start, obviously, and at that point, it obviously only gets really better for him. It's so difficult for Leenock to play out this position, and MMA is just at that sort of point where he's just building up and getting himself ready to kind of end this game, because, you know, it's not something that happens right away. When something happens, it takes a little bit of time, as we do see. Hellions currently working their way through a drone, or a building drone at least. And there's actually a few Hellions there to roast down a few Zerglings as well. Just in place. We come back up the left side. I didn't get a good amount of Hellions and Marines on the right. Another few Hellions as well. I mean, there must be an armory, right? Yes, there is. Going to be a lot of Hellbats here. This is going to be almost impossible, I think, for Leenock to stop. What does he have at the moment? Well, he has 23 Lings, but he hasn't made any Banelings just yet. He's going to be in so much trouble. He's going to be in so much trouble as you're going to be seeing the Hellbats coming up, and we're going to be seeing him going for, well, the hatchery. I mean, Green going to take some damage as well. Again, I mean, Leenock tried to do something with just kind of Lings. Now he's trying to go into Roaches. Again, maybe the best answer was just to maybe try and go for a Bane Burst, but then, again, I mean, maybe then it isn't if the barracks had floated home, and maybe the Hellions would just defend anyways. I think whatever you do is a bit of a gamble, but I think the better gamble is the gamble that MMA just messes up his control against a Baneling Burst or something when he only has 2 Hellions or so. Anyways, continue to fight this right here. Roaches keep on going down. The drones are running around all over the place. And it's kind of obvious at the moment. I think MMA is going to be shutting down game number 3 and taking the series 2-1 against Leenock in this event, in this matchup from the first round of the Kung Fu Cup number 4. Got a couple of drones still going down here and there. 7 workers killed as Hellions are just chasing those drones around over on the third base. Leenock's going to clean this up, but again, the damage dealt is already absolutely insane. And, well, I mean, next time MMA comes across the map of a fight, he's going to have Stimpack, he's going to have tanks, he's going to have Marauders as well to help deal with the Roaches. It's not a GG yet, apparently. Leenock's going to try and stay in this and maybe try and counter, but again, obviously from our point of view, we can see that this is very much so a done deal, a wrapped up case, a foregone conclusion. I can't think of any of the words. There is the GG. Believe it or not, the 4 Roach counterattack does not quite work for Leenock, and MMA takes the